Namaste, Jai Bharat. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's visit to US was all successful with the Israeli perspective. He had done an excellent job for his country. On the first place, he talks about Bethlehem. Bethlehem is a place where Christ Jesus was born, and that is with Palestine. And he was talking about the population of Christians. 30 years before, the Christian population was so much, and 30 years later, he doesn't have his statistics that how many Christians are there left in Bethlehem. And then he talks about Somaliland. He was clearing the so-called apprehensions of America. Says that Somaliland, they're not radical Muslims. He says they're moderate Muslims. Nobody has any problem with moderate Muslims. Everyone has problems only with the radical Islam. That is an accepted fact, provided those who pretend to be moderate Muslims are not really radicals. That you have to ascertain, that you have to confirm. So if what he says is correct, and I'm sure that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not going to speak any unrealistic statements. He's a very serious person. If he says they're moderate Islam, it should be the case, because we have many other instances of moderate Islams in the world, and no one has any problem to coexist with them. No one shall have any problems to coexist with them, because they wouldn't have any problem to coexist with others. In general, others have no problems to coexist with anybody else, so long as one is not trying to impose over or bully over others. That's natural. But even if one is very adjusting and cooperating, the radicals would call them as kafirs and tries to kill them just like that, because they have been trained to think that that's their duty. So there's no redemption to that. There's no redemption to that, and there's no Messiah in sight. So that's one thing he says, that they're moderate, so they have no problem. And there is, of course, deep geopolitics in it with Somaliland. And the Somaliland welcomes Israel like anything, with all warmth of love and affection. The Mediterranean, if I can look at Mediterranean directly, which of course is perhaps needed for world peace, as I understand, that is a good move. That was a good move. And then he added something from where the US, especially President Trump, comes out with certain things. He says, look at Africa and Middle East. He names the countries, including Lebanon. Africa and Middle East, the population of Christians were so much 30, 40 years before, and the population of Christians just depleted to this much, and really in many places there is no statistics available. And the Christians in Middle East and Africa need to be protected. And America, it seems, that promised that in 2026 they will do all that they can do. Fine. They will do all that they can do to protect the Christians who are becoming increasing minorities. Of course, they're concerned about Christians, and they're talking about the atrocities on Christians by radicals. But there are many others other than Christians, like Hindus, who face a similar problem. But that's all right. That's all right. Each one has to look after himself. and America cannot go around helping everyone. Understood. So this, in all, Prime Minister Netanyahu's visit was very successful, and he had brought this point home. That was great and well done. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Siya Ram.